Hey students, welcome back. Sorry, I had some technical difficulty on the last video, so I'm going to remake the last video. This is the assembly drawing that we had created. This was sheet 1 and then sheet 2. We had created this sheet and sheet 3 and sheet 4. All you have to do is just double click on each one of these sheets over here under the browser, and it will pull up your assembly drawing and it will pull up your details. Okay, and Mr. Morris is aggravated because I got halfway through and then I had some computer problems. So it's not always required, but it is in this class to label the views. So I would like for you on the assembly drawing to go to text, and then below the view, click anywhere below the view, and I want you to type in clamp assembly, all capital letters, and then I want you to highlight it like you would do in Word and make it bold and underline and select OK. So as you zoom in with your scroll wheel, you see you have a nice label there. Do a right click OK to get out of that mode, and there's your label. You can hold down the left mouse button and move it around, and I like that. So I think that's pretty good for sheet 1. Let's go to sheet 2. Double click on sheet 2, and what I have already gone in here, I'll go ahead and delete these and redo them to show you how it's done. The center lines. I'm going to go ahead and delete these and redo it. Again, I had some technical difficulties and I had to remake this video here. So, all right, so the first thing we want to do here is we want to put in the center lines and the center marks. So you go to annotate and you go over here to where you see center mark, and you're going to click on these circles, these outer circles. That puts the exact center of the hole. Also, you want to come over to these arcs, and you want to put center marks there. All right, so that's the center marks. Now we use the bisector center line. Click on the bisector center line, and we're going to click on this line and this line, and this line and this line. And you can zoom in and out with your scroll wheel as you're doing this, and you can also pan by holding the scroll wheel down and moving your mouse. Click on this line and this line, and this line and this line. I'm going to do a right click, hit cancel. Now, if you hover over these lines, you can hold down the left mouse button and you can drag those little grips, those little green grips you see there, to make the center lines a little bit longer if you wish. All right, so those are our center lines. Now I'm going to start putting in the dimensions here, and I'm going to come up here and click on the dimension icon, and I'm going to click here and here, and I'm going to put it a click with your left mouse button, and then change the number of decimal places. Okay. We're going to do it again from right click here and click on the edge of that center mark. Click with your left mouse button. Change these to 0 decimal places. All right. Click here, drag down, click, and change the number of decimal places. So we're just going to keep repeating that process. Click here, click right here, drag down, click. I'm going to make this 0. Okay, we also have some dimensions over here that we need to add. Click, change the number of decimal places to 0. All right, and now I'm going to add the features of the hole here. If you go to hole and thread, and then zoom in and click on the outer edge of that circle, and you can drag it up and click. Do a right click, OK. Now, what does that? What does this notation mean? Well, the smaller circle is 10.80 millimeters going all the way through, and this is the larger circle, which is 17.20 millimeters, and it's 11.5 millimeters deep. It's a counterbore hole. It's a hole used to recess the head of the bolts so they're not sticking up. Okay. And we'll learn more about that in some other classes. Click on dimension again, and we're going to come in here, and I'm going to click on that arc, and we're going to make that 1 decimal place as well. Say OK. Right click OK. Now, you can always move the view around even when it's dimensioned. If you hold down the left mouse button, you see a little red rectangle. You can, in this case, we can move the view up and down. I'm going to move it up just a little bit. All right, so let's see. We need to put some dimensions here on the front view as well. What we can do is we can put in. Now I want to keep this dimension in line with this one here. See how I just move it up? There you go. Click. 0 decimal places. Okay, so that's 20. Okay, I'm just double checking all my dimensions here to see if I've left anything out. That all looks pretty good on the top view. You could put a dimension here, even though we already have it as a reference dimension. And what you could do is go over here and click on reference. And again, we don't want any decimal places. Okay, that's just a reference dimension right there. All right, so let's go and look at our right side view here. Again, you can put in another reference dimension if you want. Make it reference and 0 decimal places. Okay, so we have the overall height and stuff here, but we need to dimension the details of this slot here. So I'm going to go ahead and do it here. Click here and here. Okay, cancel. I didn't like that. Let me try that again. I don't know why it liked it the second time, but it did. Now we're going to click here and here, center to center. You want to line these dimensions up here. Let me try that again. Click on this center and this center. It's not cooperating with me here. All right, the way you keep these lined up is you move your mouse down over this dimension and you just move it slowly back up and click. And it keeps those two dimensions lined up as it should be. And makes your drawing looks much neater when you do that. Okay. Let's see here. We're going to dimension from here to here. I don't know why it's not liking that. Let's try that again. All right, I'm going to add um, I'm going to add a dimension here. See how that little, when you move the arrow near the arc, you see that little diameter symbol that shows up? Click and drag here. And we don't want 0 decimal places there. And I'm going to click here. I'm going to hold my left mouse button, drag this up a little bit. Then I can reposition this. That just looks way better. All right, we need to put view labels here as well. So I'm going to go to text. I'm going to go underneath this view. This is my top view. Top view, make sure is all capital letters. Highlight it, make it bold, underline. Okay, right click. Okay. Now you can copy this, copy, and you can paste it here and here. All right, and I'm going to do a right click, cancel. Make sure you edit these. Double click on this because this now becomes your front view. Front view. And this is my right side view. I just abbreviate it like this. Okay, so you hit the escape button a few times. I think that's satisfactory for this one. It's possible I may have left out a dimension or two here, but that's not the purpose of this lecture. The purpose of this lecture is to get you to see how to lay out an assembly drawing. And as we said, this is the first sheet. It shows the physical assembly and it shows the bill of materials. That's the only thing that goes on your first sheet. The second sheet are the details of your parts. Okay, so this is the clamp uh, assembly. This is the first part that we did. This is the clamp base, and now we're going to go to this part here. So I'm going to dimension this, but before I do, we don't want to forget about our holes here. So we want to put a center mark here, and we want to put a bisector center mark there. All right, so now I'm going to start dimensioning these parts or views. All right. Now, if you start to run out of space, look how nice this is. You just move your mouse over near your view, hold down the left mouse button, and drag it up. Okay, and now I want my overall dimension here. 0 decimal places. And then we're going to put a dimension here. Now, this is an interesting point right here. We could actually open this part up, do a right click OK, and open up this part here, because that dimension should be 5. Okay, and I'm going to go to the sketch where we'll do a right click on this and edit the sketch. And I see right now I forgot to this should be 5. right there. So I'm going to change that to 5 millimeters, right? And hit the finish sketch, and I'm going to file and save it. And I want to show you how neat this is. If I go back to the drawing, notice it automatically updates my drawing to reflect my change that I made on my model. So I'm going to double click on that, make this 0 decimal places. All right. I'm going to move this down. You just hold the left mouse button down. You can drag that down a little bit because I want to put one more dimension here. This one. And again, same thing. There's a way to do that automatically so all the decimal places are the same. I'm just giving you some extra practice right now. We need a few dimensions up here. We'll do this again. Make sure those dimensions are lined up. Change it to 0 decimal places. Right. And we'll do another dimension right here. All right. So those dimensions are okay there. Now, we could put some more dimensions here, but they would be reference dimensions. But let's go ahead and put in our radius here for this is our rounded corners. They're all the same, so we don't have to do it one dimension at one time. If you dimension at one time, it's assumed the others are the same. I am going to do this, though. I'm going to do this here. All right. Let's put the view labels in. This is the top view. All caps. Highlight this, make it bold, underline. Okay. This is not an industry standard. This is a Mr. Moore standard. So you won't always see the labels. But I like for you to label them. This is an ISO view. All right. So I want to save this. I haven't saved it in a while. File, save. All right. So this is sheet 1, right? And we got sheet 2. And we got sheet 3. And there might be a few dimensions missing here and there, but again, that's not the point of this lesson. I'm trying to teach you how to lay out an assembly drawing package, and we're doing the details now. If you were doing this for an assignment, yes, I would be looking for all the dimensions, so make sure you include them, okay? But for this demonstration, it's not necessary. I'm going to go to sheet 4, and I'm going to annotate this as well. Remember, you can put in your bisector right here, center line, and I clicked on this line and this line. If you hold down the left mouse button, you can drag these little grips, right? All right, we're gonna have to put a center line over here. All right, and let's see. I guess we can go ahead and start dimensioning these here. Okay, it's still dimensioning here, but we're getting close. We're getting very close to finishing this up. If you want to do this problem for extra credit, you can. But it is mandatory that you watch it. It is mandatory that you watch the entire thing because you need to learn how to do these things. And if you don't watch the videos, you're not going to learn. So I strongly, strongly, strongly encourage you to watch this. Okay. Now see how I forgot to edit that dimension? I can just double click on that dimension and change it to 0 decimal places. And then the overall length of it. See how I keep moving? I do a right click OK, and I can hold down my left mouse button and move up the view so I have some more space here. Now I'm going to come over here and I'm going to put the diameter dimension here of the pin. That's the diameter. All right. We also have the smaller undercut here. This is 3. All right. Now I have a chamfer. I'm going to do that here as well. So you click here and here, and it does this. You can double click on that and you can get rid of the word chamfer if you want. It's understood to be a chamfer. I'm going to leave it at that precision. Okay. All right, so let's put the labels here. This is the isometric. I'm going to move it up a little bit here. Go to text. Go below the view. So it always needs to be below the view. Front view. Make it bold, underline. Okay. I'm going to do the same thing for this one. Right side view. I might just do it like that. And one more. ISO view. Make it bold, underline. Okay. All right, now let's plot this. You have 4 sheets here, right? So go to File, and we're going to print all sheets, and we're going to look at we're going to preview this. That looks pretty good. You do a preview, it looks like it fits perfect, and you would just hit print, and you don't have to rotate or anything because it's a perfect fit. Again, if you do a preview, you can see what it looks like. Close. So File, Print, All Sheets. If you just leave Current Sheets, I'm only going to put the first sheet. So select All Sheets. There's 4 sheets. The number of copies, model scale 1:1, and you can say OK here. All right, I'm not going to do OK because I don't want to print it to my I don't want to send it to my printer. But I don't want you to turn it in this way either. The way I want you to submit your work is go to File, Export as a PDF. Okay, and you would say go to options, and you want to say all sheets. Make sure you say all sheets here. Say okay, and then do a save. And it's thinking. All right. Um, if we go to clamp assembly, we'll see the PDF. Maybe it's saved it in my documents. File. I'm gonna make sure I watch this time. Export PDF. Yeah, it's in clamp assembly. There it is right there. It is in clamp assembly. If you double click on this, it's going to save it as that. I want to show you. There's the PDF right there. So this is what you would submit. Okay. All right. Have fun with this. You are required to watch these videos. Mr. Morris has spent his whole Saturday just about not feeling well to make these videos. So you need to watch them. Once you've watched them, you need to email me telling me you watched all these videos, okay? I need to hear back from you. All right. Have a good day.